Good afternoon. For today's segment, we'll be talking about safe spaces versus freedom of expression. Safe space is an area on college where students can talk about personal experiences without being judged. For example, today in the University of Chicago, the dean recently sent a letter to incoming freshmen letting them know we do not support so-called trigger warnings. We do not cancel invited speakers because their topics might prove controversial, and we do not condone the creation of intellectual safe spaces where individuals can retreat ideas from perspectives and odds of their own.
Furthermore, on the topic, free speech is the lifeblood of a university. It begins going on to observe that unavoidably, this would mean that members of the university are confronted with the views that some find unsettling and extreme or offensive as well. This university must therefore foster freedom of expression within a framework of robust civility. To many, this may seem like a statement of self-evident, but there are times when fundamental liberal position needs to be stated explicitly, and there are such times.
A secondary segment will be the positive overview of the normative American values during the time period of 1996. Even though there were many declines during this period, there were growth towards the American history values during this period. An example would be personal responsibility. There appear to be many pro-developments of the passage of Personal Responsibility and Work Opportunity Reconciliation Act in August of 1996. This created welfare caseloads that have dropped substantially from a 5.5% of total U.S. population to a 2.1% of June 2000.
The year of 1996 to 2000, a decline in the merit is a result from financial reasons. As the price of education increases, so does the dropout rate. Some students feel that just by having a stable job means that education is not necessary. You have a stable job, you're earning money, that means education is not even irrelevant.
In this third segment, I will be discussing the American melting pot and multiculturalism. The American melting pot is described as a fusion of different nationalities, ethnicities, and cultures. For example, if I'm from China making my way to the United States, I am expected to put the American cultures first, then my own cultures and religions come second. Multiculturalism, on the other hand, is an acceptance of multi-ethnic cultures. Canada and the UK accept other cultures, races, and any religions coming into their country. They do not make their religions come first, they try to balance everything out.
One simple date change for man, one major screw-up for computer.
At the stroke of midnight, January 1st, 2000, elevators may stop. Heat may vanish. Credit cards and ATMs may cease to function. Airplanes and trains may come to a halt.
People were terrified the world was going to end.
This is not one of the summer movies where you can close your eyes during the scary parts.
There was a fear. Everything's in the internet, everything's in computers, and we're gonna lose it all. And Jesus is coming back.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Indeed, I did have a relationship with Miss Lewinsky that was not appropriate. In fact, it was wrong. It constituted a critical lapse in judgment and a personal failure on my part for which I am solely and completely responsible. I misled people, including even my wife. I deeply regret that.
Scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Hanging out the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me.
Going on to become the best-selling console in history at 150 million units sold, 3,874 titles, and over 1.5 billion games sold, Sony sold $250 million worth of product on day one.
This race between Gore and Bush, too close to call, Jeff.
Anyway, with Gore and Bush too close to call, Florida, governed by Bush's brother Jeb, became key.
The Circuit Court of the Second Judicial Circuit here in Tallahassee shall immediately begin a manual recount.
There, it took more than a month, a manual recount, and the Supreme Court to declare victory to George W. Bush by a mere 537 votes.
The first president, by the way, since 1888 to have lost the popular vote and still win the White House.
I got the antidote. Women wave your pantyhose, sing the chorus and it goes. I'm Slim Shady, yes I'm the real Shady. All you other Slim Shadys are just imitating. So won't the real Slim Shady please stand up? Please stand up.